11-12, 13-14.
We are at Silver Bluff tonight. The Bulldogs trail. All right, but there was 37 penalties in the game.
Oh God.
And for the beginning of it.
Well, real quick, we have a great news to report.
Yeah.
As you can see, at least the Aiken Thoroughbreds have made their way back on the field, which is a ball. Let's
warm up, kind of started back. They are going to take that 4-minute break for their mandatory water break, and they are going to do that. No word just yet on the halftime if that's going to be shortened a bit, being able to take 30 minutes and kind of hang out for a little bit. So we'll get that news to you as soon as we get it. But until then, we'll get them warmed up and get them back out on the field.
Also, Matt, if you could check, I'm not sure on this. There's got to be a time limit also that the games have to be in. So check on that if you get a chance,
Yeah,
unless you
for
already
sure.
know. Yeah, check on that for us.
Absolutely.
all right. Matt Lane on the field for us tonight.
Just wondering about getting the game in, even if they get started.
Yeah.
At some point, we gotta.
And
We've still got over 2.5 quarters to play.
Well, the good news is that I looking at the radar, I think we're clear for now. And Matt now telling us from the field he did check on that, and there is no time limit on the game. So Hogan's Heroes, you're off for the rest of the night over on you're here on MeTV. You get the rest of the evening off. D. Griffin, who is standing by for News Channel 6 at 10. You can probably, as Skip Carey used to say, walk your K9 and take the rest of the evening off, because we're going to be here at least for a little.
The story I was talking about, John.
Oh,
real
yes.
quick.
We're all waiting.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. I
There
won't
come
say
the
the team.
Bulldogs.
We came years ago. We used to do a game for a service out of Atlanta where it was tape delay broadcast, and the game had 37 penalties. 37. So the game took forever. Well, in the middle of the broadcast, there was a problem, something with audio. They weren't getting our feed, but she didn't want to tell us in case it came back. So after me and my partner were advised that, can you guys hang around in the van and while the game replays, do the play-by-play. So we had to do the game twice. Rumors out. Yeah, there you go. We had to do the game twice, back to back, sitting in a van with nobody at the. It's pretty fun.
Spoiler alert for Scott Elledge and Chris McCarthy sitting in the van right now.
Yeah.
We will not
Yeah.
be retracking this game after it is over.
Although it made me look like a genius, because every now and then I'd say, I got a feeling they're about to have a big play. There you go.
If you were a betting man, you could have probably won some money on that.
Got a feeling it's going to be a hold right here. That's throwing it in there. But again, good news is for these coaches, they're going to get a chance. You don't want to get anybody hurt. They've had a little delay. They're going to get some stretching in. But what you do want to get in, if you can, is get some work, especially if you're South Aiken, for some of the guys that aren't necessarily starters. And for Silver Bluff, you're trying to find the guys maybe that are going to be successful. Your quarterback has looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I think if you give him some time, he could be dangerous. So we'll see what happens the rest of the way. But we've got scores, by the way, from around the year. A lot of putting their games in. Yeah,
we can update some of these scores, and again, not a lot has changed, although some of the point totals have. Burke County still all over Grovetown, 28-0. That game is at the half. They're already in the fourth quarter at Lakeside.
Yeah, and that's a young Lakeside team. They got a great quarterback. He's already committed to Georgia in baseball. He's a junior named Will Childers. Not a lot around him. Augusta making him pay 37. Also in the fourth quarter, Thompson and Laney.
50-0. The Bulldogs over the Wildcats now.
Laney down. This is a Laney team that has dominated Richmond County the last 15 years. Some of those teams are going to have a chance to get them this year. They're a little bit down in Thompson. And maybe 14-1 state championship appearance team we saw a year ago, but pretty darn good.
They did lose some guys from that team, but I tell you, that's another team. When you get as close as it makes you hungry coming back.
And they got a lot of talent back. There's no question. They did lose offensive coordinator Jarrett Troxler, and they were a little worried about that, but no problems tonight with 50 points.
Third quarter score, Jefferson County leads Savannah Christian 31-7, and in the second quarter, it is Butler 7-0 over Cross Creek.
And also, you got Prince Avenue Prep, who leads Aquinas now. It's 28 in the third quarter. Aquinas has got some talent, but that's a very good Prince Avenue prep team.
So we'll keep an eye on these scores as the night. There are going to be games that end before we start the second half.
Yeah, well, absolutely. There are games that end before we start in just a moment here, with 8:41 left in the second quarter here.
If you're at home and you're just joining us, pull up a chair and or if you have been watching, this will be a good time to go grab you another popcorn and another soda and get ready, because we have a solid, 2.5 quarters of football left to be played here.
Yeah, a little over that, and there you see Silver Bluff trying to loosen up. Boy, starting and stopping like that, especially early in the season when cramps are already an issue with this heat. Luckily, as I said, it was not as hot as we expected due to the rain cooling things off a bit, and that probably some of the folks who might have been cramping up. But you got to get some of that dynamic stretching in, which is what they're doing now.
And I'm not a weather expert, but I sit next to George Myers.
You've been around it, yeah.
So I listen intently, and one of the things that I've always heard him say is when you have a storm like this one, I guess, that just kind of skirted us a minute ago, it can cool the temperature where you are.
Yeah.
And it's dropped another probably 10 degrees since we took this time out.
Which I'm sure the others are certainly loving.
So I did not think I would have words at about 4 o'clock this afternoon when I got here, but it's pretty comfortable out right now.
Yeah, it is. The thing is now on a night like this, you want to get play in because you're a non-region some practicing, because to be honest, it's been so hot.
Yeah.
A lot of the practices have been inside. They've had to take them inside. I know the middle schools in Columbia County for the most part all week have pretty much been inside due to the heat.
Yeah.
We had a heat index of 109, I think, a couple of days ago.
And we are getting the word from Matt Lane down the sideline with the Augusta Auto Auction sideline report that they are going to trim halftime to 10 minutes. It'll be a 10-minute halftime in order to try to get us back on some semblance of back on track here. If we have another delay, I say we resurrect your talk show and just have people call on our cell phone and just talk to them.
That'd be great. Hey, Barnwell, who's also a highly ranked team in the preseason, ranked third in the state in their classification, they lead Willis-Tonelco 10-0. That game is in the second quarter.
Now that's one of the advantages I have having traveled around to these different schools for football Friday night over the years, is that does not, those two teams do not like each other. Barnwell and Willis-Tonelco.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's a huge rivalry, no question about it. So here we go. Looks like we are ready for some football.
So Silver Bluff is back on its sideline, South Aiken back on its sideline, and we are ready to go. And it's South Aiken, 1st and 10 from its 19-yard line, and they'll pick up right where they left off with Roberts. Push ahead for another 7 or 8 yards. Give him 9, and the Thoroughbreds continue to move the football. Delay or no delay.
Yeah, they didn't look like they missed much, you're right. Silver Bluff really needs to stop here, and it's just had that break. You got to come right out and stop this offense.
Out of the gun this time is Boynton. And way overthrown. He was looking for, I believe, Jesse Sanders there on the right side.
Yeah, it was Sanders.
His number was kind of crunched into his pads.
Throw to make when you're coming back after, you loosened up. You were looking pretty good, 5 of 7 passes, over 100 yards, and then you take another break and have to come out and throw that pass. As a talented quarterback, Cody Boynton, senior, threw 30 TDs a year ago as he led this team to the upper state championship game. They lost in double overtime, 51-48, I believe.
Heartbreaker.
To South Point.
Another big third down for this Silver Bluff defense as they try to turn momentum. It is Roberts. It is first down, I believe. The Silver Bluff defense thinks they got to him first, but no.
Yeah, that was Green.
No, they're going to say 4th down. Boy, I thought he got it, but they spotted about a half yard shy, it looks like.
Credit number 25, Damian Green, the 5'9 junior. He stepped in there and made a nice hit.
And it will indeed be 4th down, and South Aiken looks like they'll try to, what looks to be like maybe a foot. Maybe a foot they need here. First tight formation we've seen from them. It's Roberts. The first down. It's a touchdown. South Aiken. Chris Roberts.
His third touchdown of the half, and he doesn't look like he's hurting at all.
The hip does not appear to be a problem.
It doesn't appear to be affected there, and that was a huge hole he had to run through. Good job up front by the big boys from South Aiken opening that hole for the touchdown.
That will make it 27-0, and Sanders will be on for the point after to try to give South Aiken a 4-touchdown lead. A reminder, the final score in this contest a year ago, 55-0. The T-Breath on pace to outpace them, so to speak.
Yeah, they're just such a good team a year ago, and they bring back a lot of talent. And that's
Boyd to hold, Sanders to kick, and if there's been one little weakness for South Aiken tonight, well, the penalties we've talked about, they have now missed a couple of extra points. So the score being 27-0, South Aiken over Silver Bluff.
Mentioning those big guys up front for South Aiken, the offensive line starters. The center is Jack Howard, a senior, and you've got guards Will Kreider and Joey Simmons. The right guard is Caleb Eichelberger, just a sophomore, and the left guard, Big David Ray. And those guys doing an excellent job opening holes for Roberts here tonight.
And it seems like a long time ago because we've had a couple of delays, but we mentioned early in the broadcast that South Aiken outscored its opponents last year by nearly 400 points, 672 to 280.
That is astounding.
It's almost unheard of. And picking up right where they left off in 2016 here in 2018 on opening night of WJBF Game Night Live in Petticoat Junction.
Well, for Silver Bluff, look, it's 27-0. You just want to keep the football and get some first downs here.
Make some positive things happen.
Some positive things happen, that's right. Like I said, I really like what I've seen from their quarterback, even though they haven't been able to score. He's a tough customer.
Sanders to kick, and there is room to run up the middle. And at midfield by the kicker Sanders, but not before. Raekwon Mann brings it all the way out to midfield, and you said Silver Bluff needed a big play. They got it there.
South Aiken's going to be lucky here because easily there could have been a tripping call on Shaheem Nipper at the end of the play, number 3. He threw the leg out and tried to trip the return guy, and the officials just didn't see it. And so South Aiken dodges a bullet. Great return. Silver Bluff's best starting field position they've had.
And the Bulldogs now in business, starting in South Aiken territory from the 47, and no room to run.
The big fella's up front, led by number 99, Monte Martin, excellent student athlete here at South Aiken.
Tyshawn Butler, a junior defensive lineman, also in there on the stop. And that'll push Silver Bluff back a yard. It'll be 2nd and 11.
Yeah, he had a little momentum here. They need something positive on this drive. Return.
You wonder when they'll go back to the air.
Doing it
Washington
here.
To the air. And not a lot of room to run there. The pass was caught behind scrimmage and just nowhere to go.
Yeah, and the two teams jawing a little bit. No sense in that. John Green had the catch.
Well, and if you're the officials at this point, we heard them during the coin toss say, keep your guys in line.
Yeah.
When you get like this, it's lopsided sometimes, especially on a muggy night. Tempers can get a little out of control.
Well, it can get a little chippy. Silver Bluff with a lot of pride. They got beat pretty badly last year, and they're down now. South Aiken, a team, down in their chest a little bit after what happened last year. So third down and about 11.
3rd and 11. It'll be Washington out of the gun. He's got 2 to the left. He will run, and he will be stopped near the original line of scrimmage, and South Aiken will get Silver Bluff off the field and take back over and probably get some pretty decent field position out of it.
Well, you get that great return from Mann, but then you go 3 and out. And credit the South Aiken defensive front. That's who got the job done on that series for sure.
So the Bulldogs will kick. Des Kitchings back deep for South Aiken along with Dre Patterson. Oscar Lopez to kick it away for Silver Bluff. Low kick. And that's going to be Patterson. And he's got room to run. He's got the sideline.
Well,
and Dre Patterson is gone for a South Aiken touchdown. 75 yards, 65 yards.
well, it might have been ill-advised to pick up the punt.
But,
And hey, we were talking about a game breaker for South Aiken a little earlier. Nathan held up number 2 and said, that might be your game breaker. Well, you're right, Nathan, good call, because Patterson makes Silver Bluff pay on that punt. That's the second straight year they've had a kick return for a score.
last year on the kickoff.
And they had a punt last year. So,
And here again in the second quarter with 4:33 to play.
3 special teams touchdowns in less than 6 quarters of football from South Aiken against Silver Bluff.
Now Sanders has missed 2 extra points. This one is up. Well, he left no doubt on that one.
Well, if you're, you know that the coach is going to be looking for things to kind of point to and kind of fuss about.
And
you
that's
don't want
about
to be that,
it
You
right
don't
now
want
for
to, yeah,
South Aiken.
you don't want to be that guy. So he was trying to make that one for sure.
So it is 34-0 here getting late now in the first half in Petticoat Junction again. It is just now 4:33 to go in the second quarter because we have had 3 separate delays here. They've delayed the kickoff 30 minutes due to heat concerns, then another 15 minutes because of lightning, and then just a few minutes ago we had, about a 40-minute delay?
About almost.
For another some lightning concerns. Not here, but it was close enough to take the players off the field for their safety. So, South Aiken picking up right where they left off before the delay. 34 and getting ready to kick it away. Back deep to receive for Silver Bluff is John Green. And appears to be Tyler Wooten. I can't really see the number from this far.
Yeah, we haven't heard much from the Wootens this
No,
year.
yeah.
Last year they were standouts on both sides of the ball. When we did their game with Fox Creek.
And it was Wooten, and they kicked it in his direction, but out of bounds.
Well, last time they had a great return, but had a
What
3
he
and out.
wants to
This
do
time,
with the ball
no return. We'll see if they can get on offense.
Well, again,
on the 35-yard line.
with the kicking situation, Chris Hamilton not going to be particularly happy, I think, that Silver Bluff is going to start this drive at the 35-yard line.
Well, exactly. And that and the penalties he can kind of harp on to say, hey, guys, yeah, we won big, or at least we're winning big, but there's some things we've got to do. You can't miss kicks against the great teams. You can't have those penalties in key spots against the great teams. And that's what they aspire to do, is play those teams late in the year.
So if you're Silver Bluff now, as we said a minute ago, you really make some positive things happen. Positive yardage, some good to take into practice on Monday and into next week against Williston Elko. Washington will keep it, and he will be stopped after a gain of about 1. And they gave him 2.
I do like Washington, but, no matter how good you are back there, you have either room to run or time to throw. And when he's been given a little bit of time, he's thrown the ball pretty well.
And that's why I said on the last series, I do wonder at what point do you keep pounding and keep with your game plan, or do you start to tear it out at some point?
Yeah, it's a tough question because, again, you don't want to, you want to get some confidence here for your kids. You don't want to lose your identity, but then again, you're down. If to have any chance to make a game of this, you got to get some points in a hurry. Reed Bolin in there with a tackle.
Not much there at all for man.
Yeah, Bolin with some help from Desmond Lawrence. We haven't called the name out much. Number 5, you see him on the defensive front for South Aiken. A year ago, number 61 for Silver Bluff. He's transferred over to South Aiken. Talented defensive line.
Life comes at you fast.
Yeah. He wanted what is happening right now, a blowout for South Aiken, more than just about anybody.
I'm sure he didn't talk to any of his friends about it in their offseason. Not at all. This
No.
is Washington in trouble, out of trouble, First down and more up to the 45-yard line of South Aiken.
I'll tell you what, I thought you were going to see him cut to the outside. That shows you he has no fear. He went right up the middle and splitting two defenders to get a few extra yards. Nice run there by the young quarterback.
He got about 50 yards on that. And so Silver Bluff with a fresh set of the South Aiken 45. To throw this time. Drop the got it back. Ooh, that could have been disaster for Silver Bluff.
I was going to say incomplete pass. Yeah, the officials have to make a good, kind of a quick call there.
The Silver Bluff fans, including one with a good set of lungs right in front of us, they thought that was an incomplete pass. And this is again, they would take a look at under the hood. Well, they don't have the hood anymore. It's going to be in New York, but you know what I mean. But here in high school, the call on the field is the call that stands, and so that's going to be a recovered fumble and back them up to 2nd and 20, own 45-yard line. His arm was definitely up.
Yeah.
Whether it was coming forward or not, we have no way to know.
I think it was, but they're going to show the replay here in just a moment.
And
I think
Washington
he was coming,
carries an out for 3-yard gain.
I think it was coming forward. I thought it was an incomplete pass. Well, let's look at it though.
And here is that play of the play before. No. And we'll get it queued up in a minute. Meantime, 3rd and long. Let's just put it that way. Really long for Silver Bluff. They need to get to just short of Beach Island to convert for a first down. Note to the truck, no. The answer to the question is no. The 3rd and a mile. Washington and now. Well, that'll give the Bulldogs 5 yards back and make it 3rd and about 15 rather than 3rd and 20. Every little bit helps right now if you're Silver Bluff.
Absolutely, and again, keep this drive alive, maybe get some points out of it. $34-0. South Aiken leads, and just more than 2 minutes, 2:12 now to play in the first half. 3rd and call it 13. I'll need a big play here from your QB. Fakes the handoff, and now he's going to pitch, and that's going nowhere. Looked like he pitched it forward. He did pitch it forward. Looking for Mance. Yeah. And that's going to be the call, I believe. An incomplete pass. And Matt Lane points out to us from the field that the clock is running now. It has stopped with 1:50 to play in the half. And here's that play we were talking about earlier. Oh yeah, his definitely arm is definitely coming forward. Yeah. Definitely incomplete pass. But we have the benefit of hindsight, and they don't. So, as it is, 4th and 12. And by the way, Nathan was on that from the very beginning. He's on a lot. Oh, dear. And I was just about to say after the last punt that the snaps to the punter have been very good tonight, and there's one that was not. It was along the ground and low. Lopez job just to get the football. Tyler Laird, the senior linebacker, was the first man in there on Lopez, and bad goes to worse for Silver Bluff, and South Aiken now already in the driver's seat and 38 yards away from pay dirt again. And as you mentioned already, the last year, that's 89-0 in less than 6 quarters. Hey, it's not like South Aiken's not doing this to a lot of other teams. We pointed out that they beat their opponents by a wide margin last year and beat some very good teams by a wide margin. Well, I don't know a football coach in the world that believes in moral victories. Yeah. But as we talked about a little bit earlier on, Silver Bluff matching up against this South Aiken team, and you said it, this is arguably the best team they're going to line up against all year long. And the things they can take away from this game, it'll help them going down the road. And by the way, Silver Bluff has done exact thing to a lot of teams over the years.
Yes, they have.
A lot of teams. So they've been on the other end of this. And South Aiken, trust me, they've been on the other end because they had a lot of years where they struggled, even recently. But right now, things turned around under young coach Chris Hamilton. A lot of talent on both sides of the ball, a lot of experience on both sides of the ball, a team that is really prepared possibly to make another deep run in playoffs. Long way to go. Early on, obviously, game of the year, but this team looks awfully good.
So South Aiken will have it first down, 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line, as we are inside 2 minutes to play in the first half.
And that might be the final 2 minutes for some of these starters for South Aiken.
You might be right. Still throwing and overthrowing.
Kitchens was holding his hands up because he was going to Thomas, but Kitchens was open deeper downfield, and Boynton didn't see him.
Yep.
Well, Boynton has been pretty good tonight. 5 of 7 before the delay. Since coming back from the delay, he's been off on a couple of throws.
And if you're thinking, well, why are they up 34-0 in the first half? These teams have not had a lot of time to practice, so they're fine-tuning things still. They're still working on things to be ready for next week and the week after.
Well, and it's also still the first half. They're working on 2-minute offense here, maybe.
Yeah. This is Roberts one way, then the other. Roberts 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, South Aiken.
And the flag is down.
And there is a flag down at the 10-yard line.
Matt is saying it looked like Kobe Bush threw an excellent block for South Aiken, but the flag is down. That would have been the 4th touchdown of the night by Roberts, but it is a hold on South Aiken. Another hold where it doesn't look like it would have affected the out play.
And a 3rd touchdown called back for South Aiken tonight.
That is kind of scary when you look at the scoreboard. 34-zip, and they've had 3 touchdowns called back.
Any offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. End result is a first down.
On that quite a bit come Monday.
That's the family-friendly way to put it.
WJBF
You better hope you guys get a little bit of a break because of the eclipse.
Enjoy the eclipse, because when that sun comes back out. So they'll scrimmage from the 20 now. Out of the gun is Boynton. Throwing, wide open, Roberts, touchdown.
Yeah, nobody got him. Matt saying wheel route. Nobody even stayed with Roberts as they were in the Augusta Tech red zone. They weren't there for long. Touchdown. Roberts now with 3 on the ground and 1 through the air, not counting a couple called back.
Well, we'll put it this way. If you're going to have a touchdown called back, this is what you better do on the next play.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they're so used to focusing on Roberts when he runs, and on a pass play, they just are worried about those receivers and just left him wide open.
Flag down on the point after. That way, on Monday, they can say, well, Coach, I mean, we got it back. What's the big deal?
Dead ball.
40-0.
And
Penalty
again,
is declined.
3 touchdowns called back. This South Aiken offense is
scary.
Doesn't look like they're missing a beat from the from last year, really.
Point after is good. It is 41-0, and we are not at halftime yet.
You're exactly right. All the delays we had, a lot of the games are ending now around the area, but for South Aiken, for Silver Bluff that is, you're hoping that clock probably gets to 0 pretty quick too, because this is pretty out of hand. 1-zip, South Aiken rolling. As there you see the clock, minute 17 to go here in the half.
A reminder that they are going to cut halftime a little bit short, down to 10 minutes, because we did have the delay earlier. So don't go too far.
Got a moment. Say about our friends at McDonald's. Game Night Live presented by McDonald's. Now at McDonald's, you can create your own sandwich with McDonald's new signature crafted recipes, like the bold new signature sriracha. We heard Mr. Powers telling us about that, made with spicy sriracha mac sauce, crispy onions, and a mix of fresh baby spinach and kale. McDonald's. I'm loving it. Boy, it looks good. Say what?
We were already hungry.
I know.
Now they're showing us food.
Yeah.
On the kickoff return for Silver Bluff is Jimmy Foreman, I believe, who brings it up to midfield.
Nice return.
Nice return. We've got a little new information on with the score the way it is, 41-0. Let's send it down to the sideline in Matt Lane.
Yeah, in South Carolina, it is actually up to the officials whether they decide to have a running clock in the second half. With the second half of the game going to be kicked off well after 10 o'clock, will be up to them. And just kind of keeping a constant line of communication open with them. They are shortening halftime to 10 minutes, so we'll see what they come up with and how really, a minute left here. We saw South Aiken did a pretty good job of scoring there with just a little bit of time. We'll see what happens as we go into halftime. But, yeah, the South Carolina rule is that it is up to the officials.
Oh, and almost interception.
Almost intercepted by DJ Parker.
Well, I will say this. If they had seen a picture of that signature sriracha, they'd let that clock run so they get McDonald's. Might be heading that way myself. Yeah, nice job by the defense there from South Aiken, putting some pressure on the quarterback, and he threw the ball into coverage.
That's a slight difference in the rules between Georgia and South Carolina because in Georgia it has to be a mutual agreement between
for the third quarter, and I think in the fourth quarter it's automatic running.
Right.
It's, but I think you're right. After half, it's both coaches have to agree. Burke County is the final now, by the way, 41-7 over Grove. That Burke County team beat Fitzgerald in the scrimmage last week. They look awfully good. North Augusta rolling 37-zip in the over Lakeside as well, and a final Thompson 50-0 over Laney.
Washington escapes trouble, and he's got 15, 20, 22 yards down to just outside the 21-yard line.
Yeah, biggest play of the night for the Silver Bluff offense, aside from maybe that long pass play.
He has made a couple of plays with his feet that have been very impressive.
Like I said, when they are playing schools their size, and they're playing schools that aren't state championship contenders necessarily, you're going to see that young man have some big Friday nights, I think. Good-looking kid, good-looking player for the Silver Bluff attack.
So if you're just heading home from that Burke County game and Laney game, stop on by. We'll be here. Washington to throw over the middle. It is complete. To Green, 5'11" junior.
Another good catch for him. He was the recipient of the 49-yard haul in on the in the first quarter.
That's going to put Silver Bluff inside the 10-yard line. It'll be first and goal from about the 9.5.
Yeah, they're in the Augusta technical red zone. And, boy, you would love to see Silver Bluff get in the end zone if you're the Bulldogs coaching staff. And,
that's trouble for Silver Bluff. It is a fumble, and it looks like Washington was able to fall on it.
Washington does get it back.
Getting some heavy pressure from Garrett Pascal. And now we're going to have a timeout on the field by Silver Bluff because they were about out of time here. First half, 31.7 seconds left in the half.
While we have time,
41-0.
all of our kicks throughout the year, the field goals and extra points, are brought to you by Military Kicks for College. Back to school isn't just for the kids. Check out Georgia Military College, located at 115 Davis Road in Martinez. Apply for fall quarter before August 28th. That's the deadline. Classes start October 3rd. Financial scholarships are available with no out-of-state tuition. Military College, start here, go anywhere.
Classes start October 3rd.
October 3rd.
That's my kind of place.
I was going to say, yeah, you still got a whole month. Just enjoy yourself over a month.
Well, here in Aiken County, they're not starting school until this Wednesday.
They haven't started yet.
Because the crowd's expected in town for the eclipse on Monday.
Yeah.
Funny, before the game on the field, I heard every single person here in Petticoat Junction talking about the eclipse.
Yeah.
More so than football.
And
Washington to throw. He is in trouble. Needs some help. Got some help. What a block. And he'll make something nothing. If I'm not mistaken, it was Evan Hall on that block. 5'10", 210-pound junior.
Able to get his quarterback some extra running room there as he looked like he was going to be brought down for a big loss. Making something out of nothing there for Washington.
Take a look at this block right there.
Ooh. Hey, Gets the Payne Center hit of the game, early nominee there with a block. Let's see this again.
Washington on third down, and he's in a lot of trouble this time, and it will not work out as well for him. That's going to be intentional grounding.
Well, that's the one thing Coach Hamilton harped on, is that he thought their defense, we've got a flag down there, he thought his defensive front was going to be much improved this year. Even though they were very good last year, he's excited about this bunch, and they have gotten good pressure tonight.
There's the grounding call.
Ground on the offense. Fourth down. Lost it down.
Talking about the eclipse, a lot of schools around the area doing different things, John. Some are getting kids out early, and then some are keeping them in a little longer, trying to kind of educate them about the eclipse. It's kind of neat.
Columbia County's
doing that, yeah.
You got your glasses yet?
I do not have my glasses. As I've told people, I got to admit, I'm not as big on the eclipse. Right now, I see darkness. I can do that every night.
So the ground on the loss down will back them all the way up to the 35-yard line. They've got to go, well, they got to go a long way. Let's put it that way. Washington with some room.
Yeah, he can really scramble.
To the 20, to the 15, and out of bounds. Nicely done, but they needed a whole bunch. And that'll take to 3.4 seconds left in the first half here. So Silver Bluff will turn it over on downs, and South Aiken, if I imagine, would just take it and get it into the locker room with this lead.
Well, it's been a dominant performance by South Aiken. Silver Bluff has had a few bright spots here and there, but as I said, for the most part, it has been a dominant performance by the Thoroughbreds. Up 41-zip as we close in on the end of the half here.
I can't wait to see what we talk about at halftime.
I'm excited.
Because, you know, I gave A material during the delay.
I was thinking that sounded like A material.
Well, not what we thought.
I was thinking to myself, save that now. Save it.
It'll be Roberts to run out the and for a wall of Bulldogs drag him down. And that will be the end of the first half. A dominant first half for South Aiken. Lead 41-0 at the end of a delay-ridden half here of football in Petticoat Junction.
Yeah, you know, just dominant performance the last 2 years by South Aiken, and we still got a whole half of football as Matt Lane is going to corral Coach Hamilton here from South Aiken. The Thoroughbreds up 41-0 as we go to a halftime that is going to be cut a little short here.
Coach Hamilton should be pretty happy. He is Matt Lane as we speak.
I got a feeling we're going to hear about turnovers and penalties, excuse me.
I guarantee you he doesn't think the game is over. That's my prediction.
I guarantee you we hear about penalties.
Down to the field and Matt Lane.
Hey, thanks, John. Yeah, here with Coach. Coach, kind of an odd way to start the season with a lot of the weather delays. How do you, obviously the scoreboard, you would say you guys are doing well, but how do you get a gauge on your team? A lot of adversity even to start this year, even though you're up on the scoreboard.
Yeah, well, we always tell our guys just control what you can control. Don't worry about the stuff you can't. And I think they've done a good job of that, so I'm proud of them.
What's the plan going in the second half? You know, certainly very comfortable lead. Are you going to kind of work on things? It seems like you were trying to maybe work on some plays in the first half as well, and they obviously went your way getting the score. What are you looking forward to do in the second half?
Well, we want to get our twos in a little bit and hopefully some playing time. They work hard during the week, give us a good look, and we want to, do what we do.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you, man.
Back to you, John.
All right, Matt Lane down on the field for our
I think do what we do is his little slogan, because I heard that a couple of times.
That's why I was cracking up.
Yeah, the captain's there. I heard that a couple of times. Do what we do. I like it. I was surprised we didn't hear about the penalties and some of the things. He might harp on that with the players, I guess. But, yeah, I that. You're winning big. You also don't want to necessarily you want to understand Silver Bluff's situation as well. And so, he's a man of few words, but I like what he said there. Get those twos in, and that's what he's going to do in the second half.
So we have a shortened halftime here. It'll be 10 minutes long. We have some scores pass along after the break. We will take a spotlight look at Silver Bluff High School. It is half Petticoat Junction. Your school, South Aiken Thoroughbreds, 41, Silver Bluff Bulldogs. We are back in Petticoat Junction on the campus of Silver Bluff High School for the opening night of Game Night Live for this 2017 season. Abbreviated halftime because of the series of weather delays we had earlier tonight. AB, a couple scores to run down?
We do. Just got a score in. Augusta Prep with for the second straight year, really manhandling Augusta Christian. 55. The final scores. The Cavaliers get the win there. They're going to have a really big year for Harry Batchelor. That squad's awfully good. Barnwell in the fourth leads their arch rivals from Williston-Elko. That score is 17-6. Thompson hammers Laney tonight. That score 50-0. The Bulldogs win. North Augusta leads Lakeside big in the fourth quarter, 37-zip. North Augusta with a trio of really nice standouts on offense, led by the speedster DeJuan Bell. Also, you've got Burke County tonight with a win over Grovetown, 41-0. Eric might not tell everybody this, but I've heard he kind of likes this team. He thinks they've got a chance to really do something this year. Burke County with a nice win.
So interesting to note that they have not taken the teams to the locker room. They're just staying here on the field since we've got a short halftime. For those of you who might just be getting home from your game or just tuning in and like, where in the world is Hogan's Heroes? Well, we've had a series of delays, so we are just at halftime here with South Aiken leading Silver Bluff 41-0. If you weren't with us earlier, we showed you a piece. We visited this campus here of Silver Bluff this Wednesday, and each week we'll be taking a closer look at the host schools. This week it is Silver Bluff High. Here we go.
We're a smaller school, so we really have that community feel. When I was a student here, I loved it here. It was like my second home. It was a family, and I knew when I decided to be a teacher that I wanted to come back here.
Looking at the area, looking at this school, it has a big tradition, a big history of excellence in athletics, academics. Just driving into the school, you see the signs of all the awards they've won, all the state championships, region championships, and I really wanted to be part of something with that kind of tradition, where the community really backs the school, and the school is a big part of the community. It's more of a focused community, which I've seen already, which is awesome because, for example, already we have 2 local churches providing breakfast for the teachers. You don't get that in the big areas as much.
The students, they're so alive, and they just make you want to be here.
Parents out in the street, they'll come, "Hey, Mr. Woodbury, how you doing?" Or like, it's just like that closeness that we have in that community. Building relationships with students actually, and being in the community and building those relationships, it actually helps motivate them because they don't want to let you down. They can see how passionate you are about teaching, in my case, teaching math. But then when you get there and you have that relationship with them, they're like, okay, I got to do this for Mr. Woodbury, and this is so much easier.
What does that mean to you to wear the Silver Bluff colors?
Oh my goodness, it's a great feeling, especially just to like step out on the court or step out on the field. It's like, it's such a rush. It means pride. I mean, you wear those colors with pride, or you don't wear them at all.
Back live here at the Bluff where the 2 teams, the Bulldogs and the Thoroughbreds, have retaken the field to get ready for the second half, and it's time now to introduce a new segment for. We're going to send it back down to Matt Lane on the field, who has the Greater Augusta Sports Council Ray Guy punters of the game. Matt.
That's right, John. Yeah, we're down here on the field with our Sports Council Ray Guy Award punters of the game. And first we have from Silver Bluff, Oscar Lopez, sophomore. I want to give you this award, Oscar, and ask you a quick question, man. What do you enjoy most about playing football?
Well, I enjoy that I get to play with a lot of people, and we play as a family. It's probably the best way to get a scholarship.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And from South Aiken, Marin Sanders, senior. Also wanted to give you this. And you asked what question I was going to ask you before. So here it is. What's the longest punt you've had in a game?
Longest punt in a game, actually. Last year I wasn't the punter, and obviously this is our first game of the year. So in the scrimmages before the season began, I had about 55 yards, 65 yards through the air, but obviously the 10 yards of the snap deducts the 10 yards. So it was about 65 yards through the air.
Cool. Very cool. Marin Sanders and Oscar Lopez, your Augusta Sports Ray Guy Award punters of the game. Congrats, guys. Back to you, John.
All right, Matt and AB, you know as well as I do, that is an award that has brought a lot of national recognition to our Augusta area.
Oh, no question. When we talk about the greats that we've had, and Garrison Hurst and, William Perry and all the greats, Ray, they're at the top of the list. NFL Hall of Famer, one of the great, if not probably the greatest punter of all time, certainly an amazing athlete, leading Thompson to state titles, to all the records he broke in baseball and football at Southern Miss, to be first-round pick as a punter from the Oakland Raiders and being a part of Super Bowl teams. He's been a great ambassador for the area, an ambassador for that part of football that doesn't get a lot of attention as well. You're right. Every year at the College Football Award Show, Augusta is mentioned, the Greater Augusta Sports Council, the Augusta Sports Council now. The time is mentioned, and Ray Guy, like I said, such a great ambassador for the area when he gets up there and honors these goals. He does. Got some first half stats, and as you might imagine, it is pretty lopsided in Aiken's favor. Silver Bluff did get some yards in that last drive that helped it look a little more respectable. South Aiken really balanced, 193 yards on the ground, 137 through the air, 330 yards total offense. For Silver Bluff, 44 yards rushing, 171 yards through the air for Silver Bluff for a total of 115. The big individually has been the running back, Chris Roberts, 18 carries, 162 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He's also got a touchdown catch mixed in there as well. So 4 total touchdowns and 162 yards for Roberts. He's been the big star of the game. And, of course, Mr. Efficient, Cody Boyden, 6 for 10, 137 yards and a TD, has been outstanding. And, just when you look up and down, top and bottom, it's, this South Aiken team looks pretty darn good. The one glaring stat, John, is the penalties. 8 penalties in the first half for 50 yards, 3 touchdowns called back by penalty, whereas Silver Bluff penalties on the night against the Bulldogs.
And you said at the outset of the broadcast that you were excited to watch this South Aiken offense. And it's been a lot of fun to watch. Unfortunately for Silver, it has been at their. But as I'm watching these two teams in the second half here, the Silver Bluff players still jumping up and down, waving their hands in the air. They do not look like a bunch of guys who are ready to go home.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. Too much pride. And Jamal Washington, we'll get to his stats because he's been pretty good for Silver Bluff. We'll do that in a moment.
Take a quick break before we start the second half on Game Night Live.
You can buy your next vehicle at Augusta Auto Auction, just like the dealers. Augusta Auto Auction has sales every Thursday night, and the public is welcome. Pick from over 100 cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, motorcycles, boats, and RVs. You'll save money and find yourself a great deal. Every Thursday night at Augusta Auto Auction, just off the Aiken-Augusta Highway in North Augusta, behind Greg's Gas Plus. Visit us online at AugustaAutoAuction.com.
McDonald's is taking it up with our new signature sriracha sandwich. It has an exclusive creamy sriracha mac sauce with just the right amount of spice. Try it on your choice of chicken or beef. Get it now for a limited time.
Make tomorrow awesome with Xfinity Internet from Comcast. Call 1-800-307-1010 today. And do what you love online with Xfinity Internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months. Xfinity Internet delivers the speed you need to surf, stream, and download. Plus, with Constant Guard by Xfinity, your family will get unmatched online security, and it's included at no additional cost. Call 1-800-307-1010 today and get speed, security, and value from Xfinity for an amazing price. Xfinity delivers reliably fast internet speed and the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. Get started with Xfinity Internet for just $19.99 a month for 12 months. It's all backed by our 30-day money-back guarantee, so it's risk-free. Experience speed at a great low price from Xfinity. Call 1-800-307-1010. That's 1-800-307-1010. Xfinity, the future of awesome.
I tell you what, their title may say intern, but these folks are more like seasoned professionals. They know the television business. They know how to handle themselves. they're completely impressive.
A number of returns, so I guess again, if you're looking at Aiken and nitpicking, you want to talk about the penalties, but also their kick coverage on the kickoff. Silver Bluff's had several nice returns tonight.
I don't know if we were able to show you that return or not, but that's how they got where they are. And on the ground, and again, it is on man. This time, stopped cold by White.
Well, I tell you, stuff in that middle has been big. Number 99, Jamonte Martin, doing an excellent job there. And White, number 99.
So some information to pass along that we got from Matt Lane down on the sidelines. Here's how the clock situation is going to work here in the second half. The 2 12-minute quarters, they will have a running clock. So we're pretty rapidly here with Silver Bluff down 41-0 and coughing up the football, although it looks like Washington was able to get back on.
Washington, pretty solid first half for a team that's, struggling as far as, being behind big. He had 14 carries for 53 yards. He was 4 of 7 passing for 71 yards. He has certainly been the key offensively for the Bulldogs in a tough spot against a very good South Aiken team.
It'll be second down. We'll go ahead and call it 2nd and 10.
Some more
marker.
More scores are trickling in from around the area. Strom, Thurman, a winner tonight over Saluda, 30-6.
Washington will keep again, this time run out of bounds. Careful over there.
Also, Fox Creek tonight a winner, 27-16 over McCormick. We'll see them next week. And their talented running back, Mateo Durant, who is committed to play at Duke. Kid had 2,000 yards rushing as a freshman. Heard a lot last year, but was able to make the All-CSRA team with WJBF and the Carolina Panthers.
Zaire Harrison was the man who ran out on that last play. First time we've had a chance to call his name tonight. As I imagine we'll hear a lot of different names on both sides of the ball for South Aiken in the next 24 minutes.
Well, you heard him saying he wants to get the twos in, his backups who work really hard and really number one guys throughout the week. You need that on a really good team. And here's why run.
And finally run out of bounds by Perry Quattlebaum, but not before picking up about 3 yards and a Silver Bluff first down.
Well, I heard a fan kind of fussing about him running out of bounds. Hey, you're down 41. He is your season. You get him hurt.
And twice last year.
That's right.
So they've already been down that road a couple of times.
So smart play, heady play by the quarterback.
Clock continues to run, 8:20 and now less than that here in the third quarter.
Early in the game, we saw him not afraid to take a hit, so that's definitely not what it is. He's just being smart there. He got the first down, kept the drive alive.
Bulldogs on the move, and again, some trouble hanging on to the football. Again, they get it back, but that's a loss of about 5. And once again, Garrett Pascal, the first man in for South Aiken. We have called his name several times this season.
Yeah, we have, and that's the one thing South Aiken defense. We called a lot of names. We knew Reed Boland coming in was keys to this team. We knew number 10, DJ Parker, but we've called a lot of names. Jamonte Martin's been on a bunch of plays tonight. Number 30, Garrett Pascal. Also, the other linebacker in there, the big guy Tyler Laird, has made a couple of nice plays. Pretty balanced. Bad snaps a lot tonight for Silver Bluff, as Nathan's pointing out.
2nd and 15. Washington's going to get 10 of 15 of them back, and Washington down to the goal line.
He is down at the 1.
Just shy down to the 1-yard line before he was tripped up, and now shaken up is Kavis Swedenberg for South Aiken, who made the stop.
Well, a great effort by Washington. Man, that is outstanding. Yeah, they're in the red zone now, the Augusta Tech red zone. 31 yards on the scamper. Watch this, though. Watch this move right here where he kicks it into a little extra gear to get by the safety.
Here they are from the 1. South Aiken's going to stack that up.
Silver Bluff trying to punch it in for the first time in 2 seasons. South Aiken.
Clock under 7 minutes.
Number 32 on the carry that time. That is Tyler Wooten. I said we haven't called his name tonight. We do, but he's stuffed at the goal line.
Silver Bluff fans, just press mute for 3 seconds while I say that. South Aiken has scored 96 straight points against Silver Bluff. Now the Bulldogs have a chance to punch it into the end. You don't think this means something to Silver Bluff right here?
They've already missed 4th and 1 earlier in the game, or 4th and goal from the 1.
They're going to throw from the 2, and then I think there's a flag down on the far side. And play is dead. offsides against South Aiken.
Wow, that's a break. I was thinking automatically it would be Silver Bluff, and that's good for the Bulldogs.
Usually when a play is they blow it dead like that, it's usually on the offense 9 times out of 10. But so that'll
defense
move the ball
to the goal
inside
line.
the 1
Still
yard
second
line.
down.
Yeah, the football is going to be just outside of the goal line here.
What do you do here, AB? You just going to try to push it up the middle?
Well, I think you give it to Raekwon Mann, 22. I mean, he's probably your best back. And there's an offsides.
Well, they're going to give those yards right back.
Yeah, number 77, the right tackle, Brandon Jones, 6'4", 288-pound junior.
And actually, net, they're going to lose the battle of those last two penalties.
4.5 yards or more,
Yeah.
Because they could only get half of the distance to the goal. And
so the South Aiken only cost the Thoroughbreds a yard or so. And this Silver Bluff back them up 5, and now they're going to come to the sideline and talk about it. But remember, the clock is running, so it is now under 5 minutes here in the third quarter.
Well, Napleton Infinity of Augusta, our timeouts all year, our sponsor, and we appreciate them being on board with us again. Again, our timeouts brought to you by Napleton Infinity of Augusta.
So wondering before the penalty what they were going to do, and I guess Bert and Abel wondering the same thing, bringing his guys over to have it.
Yeah, you almost have to. They stuffed you up the middle. You almost have to kind of spread maybe direction, which they were so good at in previous offenses. We'll see what they try to do, though. Your star is Washington, no question about it.
Right.
I mean, he's the guy. But Raekwon Mann has been your best runner tonight.
Yeah, and next week heads to play Williston Elko,
and that won't be easy. Williston Elko, a good team. Struggling a little tonight with Barnwell. Barnwell's a darn good football.
They trail that game 17-6 in the fourth quarter.
And who's South Aiken got? Take a look there.
South Aiken next week, AB, will head to play White Knoll.
Yeah, White Knoll, who's a good football team as well.
Just up the road, a short drive.
Yeah.
Lexington area. It is Washington to throw and overthrowing in the end zone. Double coverage there.
Well, I don't mind that, but I would rather see Washington rolling with a chance to run or throw. I think he opened much with his wheels. He threw into traffic that time and high. Probably the worst pass we've seen him throw because he's been pretty good tonight.
He was looking for Green, DJ Parker, and Darius Williams on the coverage back there. So it'll be third down. Third and goal from about the 6. A good look at Kava Swedenberg there, one of the defensive stars of the South Aiken team. Washington to throw. Heavy pressure. Escapes one man and will just fire it away as he was about to be forced out of bounds.
I like the idea. If his receiver had gone for the ball, who knows? But I do like the idea. Washington, he got rid of it.
DJ Parker putting on, and stop me if you've heard this name before tonight, Garrett Pascal also there.
He's played really good. To be honest with you, coming into the game, Reed Bolin and DJ Parker got all the attention. But I tell you, Pascal has been very nice, and they needed it because Colby Campbell last year had over 200 tackles, and he's now playing at Presbyterian. He played really well in the Border Bowl as well. We made a focus on long locks. He had very long hair.
you mentioned that, didn't you?
Well, I mean, I did. As somebody who's follically challenged, I was pretty impressed.
Matt. So if you're Silver Bluff, I think this is trainer. There's no point in trying to kick a field goal here.
No doubt. No doubt you go for it. And the problem is it's going to be a little bit of a hit confidence-wise if you can't get in. You're going to really some frustration set in if it's not already. They do try to do direction.
It's green, and there is nothing there. And now the ball is loose. Bulldogs got back on it. I believe it was Tyler Woot. They fell on it.
Well, second time on fourth down inside the 10, they fumbled it away. And you know what? I thought they needed to spread it out and run some misdirection as well, but it does not work.
Like the play call.
Yeah, so I like the change. Almost like faking it better and letting Washington keep it. But the bottom line is they're going to turn the ball over on downs to South Aiken in this thoroughbred offense. Now, let's see if we see some of the twos in here for South Aiken. Might see some backups. Let's see who's in.
And you are exactly right, because at quarterback is going to Jesse Sanders taking over for Boynton, who had a whale of a ball game here tonight.
Jesse Sanders, a good-looking side, a nice catch down at the goal line in the first half. And here he's going to run it. I tell you, Sanders looks pretty good, not a 10th grader.
Showing off some wheels.
Yeah. Well, he's a starting receiver, so he's obviously a pretty good athlete. He's got some real eyes for a 10th grader.
They're going to need a quarterback next year. And he's first down up to about the 34-yard line. We'll call it 33 and a half.
And so a lot of the backups into the game. Matter of fact, it looks like just about every start.
It's wholesale changes for South Aiken now. So that would have been Roberts, but instead, at this point in the ball, is...
It looks like number 22, Ryan.
Maxwell Ryan. So we've seen a couple of times in the first half tonight.
And by the way, he's also a sophomore. So if you're thinking, you know, after this year, you might be able to get after South Aiken a little bit. I don't know. They got some good young talent.
And some good young talent getting invaluable game experience here tonight.
Absolutely.
Well, again, with the running clock, that is going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play with your score. The South Aiken Thoroughbreds 41, the Silver Bluff Bulldogs nothing. 1 quarter to play in Petticoat Junction on Game Night Live. Well, our apologies. We are joining you in progress on this drive as with a 41 score. They are moving things along rapidly now here at Petticoat Junction. South moved at about 14 total yards. Let's say 14. It's a guess, but let's say 14. But they're still going to be a couple of yards shy here on 4th down. So it'll be a situation for the Thoroughbreds, and Silver Bluff will get another crack at it.
Well, we don't get a chance to see them do this often.
No.
Not with that offense.
Cody Boynton, the quarterback, to kick, and it is a short kick, but it'll take a South Aiken bounce and roll dead at the Silver Bluff 43-yard line, and that is will take. And again, just joining, for those of you getting home from your other games and flipping on WJBF Game Night Live, we have had 3 separate delays in this game.
Well, and keep in mind, not long after we're done here, be able to catch football Friday night.
That's exactly right. At 11:35 on WJBF, they'll recap all of the games, including this one.
I love it because it's 30 minutes dedicated to the area.
There was a time during tonight's game, AB, where I thought we might be on the air later than they were.
That's true.
But we are 9 minutes away from the end of this one. Washington keeps it. A whole host of Thoroughbreds knocking down. He got maybe the original line of scrimmage.
And by the way, we also want to honor a couple of folks who do well not only on the field but in the classroom. We've got a couple of scholar athletes to check out. And we will start with South Aiken. Defense we've talked about a lot tonight, Reed Bolin. And Reed Bolin is our scholar athlete from South Aiken, 33, starting senior linebacker. Had over 170 tackles last year and also has a 4.0 GPA ranked in the top 10 in his class. Congratulations to our scholar athlete, Reed Bolin from South Aiken. We'll have a from Silver Bluff coming up here shortly.
Raekwon Mann takes it all the way down to the 10-yard line, and Silver Bluff fans are going to ask us to talk about Reed Bolin more often.
Yeah, I tell you, we're talking about South Aiken's defender, and Mann breaks off a long run. So again, Mann and Washington are 2 kids that they can do something. You know, this Silver Bluff team, I'm not saying they're going to, win a state title or who knows if they're even a playoff team, but I'm going to tell you what, you're not going to see 41-0 the rest of the year. They've got a few players on this team for sure.
That was Tyler Wooten. Not a lot of room there. Reed really was styling in that shirt, the plaid. I can't pull that off. He looked great.
I don't know. Like a young John Hart to me.
You think I could do it? Maybe next week.
They are in the red zone. Technical college all year long. And, of course, we got Washington, the talented quarterback.
This time, Silver Bluff has been in the red zone. The first they have come up empty. This time, with a great spin move to get down inside the 10-yard line, where he's brought down by...
Well, your guy, Pascal.
Well, and Reed Bolin.
Was it Reed Bolin? Yeah, your guy. It was Bolin. My bad. 33 instead of 30. Well, I tell you one thing, South Aiken's got their backups in on offense, but they want a shutout. They've got their starters defense, DJ Parker, Reed.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it is. He wants to, Coach Hamilton realizes this will be the second straight shutout. They want to keep it that way. And yeah, all up front, their defenders are first teamers in there, so they're trying to get the shutout here.
They can get a first down without getting a touchdown. Again, it is going to be man, and he is going to be stopped at about the 5-yard.
That was Kitchings coming up making the tackle.
He'll be about 3 yards shy as the clock under 7 minutes now, 6:50 and less than that to play.
Yeah, so Coach Hamilton challenging, as you see on the replay, Kitchens coming up making that play. Coach Hamilton challenging his starters on to keep the shutout intact.
So it's 4th down for Silver Bluff and for South Aiken trying to keep that shutout, as you mentioned, AB. They are yards away from a touchdown. They can get a first down. 4th down, Washington, under pressure, eludes the pressure, up the middle, Washington, touchdown, Silver Bluff. Petticoat Junction is partying like it's 1999. They are so happy to score against this South Aiken team. I immediately saw 2 assistant coaches look up to the sky and point, hands in prayer.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord, for getting us in the end zone.
Good.
Yes, sir. Trouble on the extra point. That's going nowhere fast. Brennan Olivas with the stop